back today with a new process video using one of the amazing cut files from Cut to You. This is from their April release. And this one is called Spring Tulip. So if you're interested in it, you can grab it from the Cut to You shop. I'm going to be using the Auburn Lane collection from Pink Paisley. It's a bit older, but I'm trying really, really hard to kind of use up the supplies in my stash. So I'm going to be doing a 8.5 by 11 layout today using 3 photos. So off camera, I backed the cut file and I also stitched it. And now I'm going to grab all of these leftover bits and pieces and I'm going to cut a whole mess of strips of paper. If you're interested in seeing my stitching and how I do that, along with this process, I'm also going to upload a separate video that shows how I go about hand stitching my cut files. All the steps I take, all the tools and supplies. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and watch that video as well. I just made it separate because I didn't want this video to be crazy long. And maybe a lot of you might already know how to, backstitch a cut file or back a cut file. Well, I didn't do backing cut file, just hand stitching it. So I'm starting with some washi tape. I'm going to place a darker washi tape at the top and bottom of my layout. Hold on a second. And that's just going to give me a nice place on my layout. I like to kind of ground the bottom and have that little bit at the top. And plus it lets me use up the washi. So you can see there I have 2 kind of piles of strips. One are lighter colors and one are darker colors. And what I'm doing here is I am just layering them up and kind of creating my own background. This is a fabulous way to get rid of paper scraps. I had tons and tons of these scraps. So Auburn Lane is one of my very favorite collections of all time. It's probably, there hasn't been one release that I have liked more than Auburn Lane since Auburn Lane was released. And I have oodles and oodles of it, so much of it. So I was really wanting to use it and get it on another a layout. And since I am really stash busting right now, I really wanted to go ahead and kind of use this. So this is a great way to use strips. There's no rhyme or reason to this. There is, I don't want heavy white gaps. And I'm also trying to alternate between light paper and dark paper. I'm also trying to stick with patterns that are not super busy, which this particular collection does not have a lot of super busy scrapbook papers in it. So this is a really nice collection to use this technique on. But this just gives it this cool kind of patchworky look that I really like, and it ends up not being too dark because I did separate my scraps between light and dark, so I can kind of look at it as a whole as I'm putting all these strips down. They're not all the same width, but none of them are longer than 8 1/4 because I knew I was working with an 8.5 by 11 layout. So I'm just going to keep going here till I get down to the very bottom. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I'm still finishing up here, adding the end pieces. There were some open gaps that I didn't like, and I wanted to fill those in. And now I'm going to place my flower right there. I'm going to glue it straight down on my paper with some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And that's where it's going to go, right there. I love how it kind of just becomes part of my background, but it adds a ton of texture and interest. I'm really happy with how this cut file turned out. I think it turned out super cute. It's a really fun one for spring. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my photos. So I have 3 3x4 photos. And they are all in these nice dark colors. These are Late Summer Blooms. That's going to be the name of my layout. I generally take lots of flower pictures as my flowers start to bloom different times of the year. I do not like summer. It's very hot. Well, it's not even very hot where I live, but I don't like the heat of summer, but I love the flowers. The flowers make up for it. And I grow flowers outside. I have a horrible green thumb with houseplants, but outside flowers I can grow fairly well. And so I do have flowers, and we garden a little bit. And yeah, it's really nice. So these are just lots of different flowers. And I just love them. I love flowers. So I went ahead and took that one 3x4 and I cut it down to a 3x3, simply so that I didn't have to cover up quite so much of the cut file, and it was still on show and pretty. I'm going to use some of my foam strips to kind of pop up the sides of these flowers where I need them to kind of come to the same level as my cut file. And now I'm going to go ahead and use this entire package of puffy stickers. So over in the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group, we are collecting empties during the month of April. So we're trying to use up as many packages of supplies as we can. Then we are posting photos of our empty packages. And at the end of the month, we're going to do a little giveaway. So if you're not part of the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group and you like using up packages of supplies, I highly recommend you come over and join us. So I am going to go ahead and use this entire pack of Auburn Lane Puffy stickers. Yay! Just so we're clear, I have another pack. It's unopened. Shh! And now I'm going to go ahead and grab the thickers that go with this collection and spell out my title, which is going to be Late Summer Blooms 2008. I am so sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. It's super sunny and beautiful outside, and everyone is mowing their grass, and everyone is walking their dog, and everyone's dogs are out. I shut myself in the bedroom in the hopes of possibly not getting background noise, so I'm sorry if you can hear them in the background. So I had taken these die cuts out and I set them. They were die cuts I thought I could use, but honestly this layout is so done. I know that sounds crazy, but there's so much pattern on the background, and so I just end up adding these two little green leaves right there, and then I'm actually going to grab the package of fabric flowers that come in this collection. I'm looking at the stickers, but I'm not going to use any of the stickers. I'm going to use fabric flowers. So I'm going to go back into my stash of these products. Oh, by the way, I have 3 of these sticker sheets too. And I decided to use these little daisy flowers. They just worked. They're white. They kind of break up some of the pattern and give your eye a little bit of a place to rest, so it's not so busy. I'm using a little Nuvo Deluxe adhesive because they were just a little crunkled, and I kind of wanted to just flatten them out a bit, if that makes sense. And that is going to complete this layout. Please be sure to head over and check out my hand stitching tutorial if you're interested, and you can find all these cut files and all the links to them over at the Cut To You blog. I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye!